You turn the faucet on in areas where there's tremendous amounts of water, where the water rushes out to sea because you could never handle it, and you don't get any water. You turn on the faucet, you don't get any water. They take a shower and water comes dripping out, just dripping out, very quietly dripping out. People are flushing toilets 10 times, 15 times, as opposed to once.
That was Donald Trump apparently sharing some of his bathroom habits and problems with the bathroom. Okay, so toilets. This day, already in the toilet. Now, look, I don't know about you guys, but I don't think there's any truth to what he said right there. I mean, I personally don't flush 10 to 15 times. I know it's probably TMI for a lot of you people, but I also have IBS. And so I still don't flush 10 to 15 times. I don't have to. So what do you say? I call BS on that entire statement. Now, also in that, the embellishments, ridiculous, right? There's tremendous amounts of water where the water rushes out to sea because you could never handle it. And by the way, now apparently it's big water, ocean water. Word salad. So let me give you some facts about why these standards. And by the way, this is what he's railing against. Standards where we are supposed to use less water per flush. Now, older toilets used up to about 6 gallons per flush. So 6 gallons, that's a lot of water. That's a lot of wastage, right? So now, over the years, we've adopted efficiency standards. And of course, manufacturers themselves have opted to go more efficient, right? And so now, according to the EPA website, this is the Trump EPA, right? Recent advancements allow low-flow toilets to use 1.28 gallons or less per flush. All right, not bad. That's actually really good. And by the way, we should be saving water, especially when the supply of fresh water is, of course, in danger due to climate change as well as pollution. So now, following this, and you're going to hear some more word salad about this, he's going to talk about what he wants the EPA to do. And they're going to look at it very, very strongly.
So we're looking at very seriously at opening up the standard. And there may be some areas where we'll go the other route, desert areas. But for the most part, you have many states where they have so much water that it comes down. It's called rain, that they don't know what to do with it. So
it's called rain. They don't know what to do with it. They've got so much water that comes down as rain. What are you talking about? And by the way, you can't really use rainwater to flush. But let's focus on the more important thing, right? Again, you have many states that they have so much water. It comes down to it's complete word salad, right? He's an idiot, the dumbest man alive. But let's go past that and address him opening up the standard. You know what that means? I mean, there's no specifics in what he said, but he means deregulation. So deregulation, by the way, this has been a chief concern for the Trump administration, a chief goal to deregulate and eliminate as many efficiency standards as they can. And they've went with vehicles, they've went light bulb. In fact, later on, he talks about how the light bulbs are so expensive. No, actually, I could pick up some really good LEDs because of how long they last incredibly cheaply because the technology is so much better and they last so much longer. And on top of that, they do save energy. I don't know why anyone at this point would want to buy the cheap incandescent bulbs that burn out faster and use more electricity. It doesn't make any sense. But hey, then again, I'm not a conservative who says, stop messing with my light bulbs. I don't want the government to come take my light bulbs away, even though I like paying the electric company even more money. No, that's ridiculous. Ridiculous. And look, same thing with these water standards, right? most people, again, don't flush 10 to 15 times and don't have just try to take a shower and it just barely comes out. No, that doesn't happen to anybody. I guess unless you're in California where, where they do have drought conditions where the water table is so incredibly low, partly thanks to climate change. So that's a big contributing factor to that. But at the same time, by the way, you have rich people in California watering their lawns. And just, hey man, look, I'm rich. I can pay the overages. And I got to have the freshest, greenest lawn in the country. And so we're just going to douse this thing with water. Turn on all the sprinklers. Insane. But that's about the only place where that happens, again, because you do have strict water standards in places like California, LA, San Francisco, because of drought conditions. And, but he does talk about that with the deserts, right? But again, going back to the water standards or any standards that the Trump administration's tried to roll back. And look, a lot of this has been put in, and you can probably guess why he wants to roll these back. Because it's not that corporations are telling him to roll back some of these standards. And I'm going to get to that. But a lot of these standards, Obama administration. Of course. Anything Obama does, I've got to roll it back. I got to get rid of it. Got to get rid of it. But anyway, so now these industry coalitions, according to Grist, have pushed back on the Trump administration's attacks on efficiency standards. Why? Because they already put in these efficiency standards. And guess what? Rolling them back, eliminating them, actually is more expensive. It actually causes more problems than it solves, according to corporations. So it's not that this benefits the wealthy and corporations. It doesn't. It's just some weird, like, conservative fan fiction that if we roll back the standards and allow these people to have their old crappy light bulbs alongside the more energy efficient, fairly cheap light bulbs, well, that we're helping you with choice. Ridiculous. It's idiotic. So this overall is a terrible idea and should be flushed away along with Donald Trump. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.